So Paladins has recently released their newest rework, that being Moji, changing her from the flank to the support role. So in this video, not only am I going to go over Moji's new kit and compare it to her old one, but at the end of the video I'm going to say my opinion if this rework was overall better for Moji, or should they have made her into a better flank. So without further ado, let's get straight into Moji's rework. So first is Spit, and it is pretty much the same, dealing 450 damage every 0.7 seconds, and when hitting an enemy champion will cause an explosion to damage all enemy champions within 8 units of the target you hit. Lastly, this projectile pierces through allies, which will be important later. This projectile does not get headshots and has a 300 unit range. Next is Sparkle, which replaces familiar Spit and is Moji's healing ability. This spray can hit both allies and enemies, dealing 20 damage to enemies every 0.08 seconds, and heal allies 75 HP every 0.08 seconds. This ability isn't fully spammable though, due to it having a resource meter to use, kind of like Io's Moonlight works. It uses 5 Sparkle for every 0.08 seconds when Sparkle is being used, and recharges 85 Sparkle every second. This ability also applies anti-heal and reduces your movement speed by 20% when being used. This also applies your magic mark onto your allies, stacking up to a max of 10 stacks. This is where you can use Spit, designating the magic mark that will heal allies within 75 units of the target for up to 500 HP based on the amount of stacks consumed. An additional 450 over 4 seconds if the 10 stacks are consumed. Next is Magic Barrier, which is an AoE ability that will grant you 1000 shield health and allies 500 shield health. The radius of this ability is 55 units, and at the start of this ability you will have 600 shield health and allies will have 100 shield health. Within the 2 seconds you will be channeling for both you and your allies for 400 shield health. During this you won't be able to attack, but you can cancel this ability. Next is Scamper, and the main real difference between this ability and old Scamper is that this ability can pretty much be used infinitely. And you can bun help by canceling Scamper midway and jumping. Finally, from Moji's kit is her ultimate Bon Appetit, and is pretty much the same. The major difference is that now when you execute the target, you have 50% of your max HP, or 1200 if you aren't running any veteran or the card to increase your HP. Now for her talents. Spit Shrine. Spit now heals 350 and increases ally movement speed by 20% for 2 seconds. Jubilation. Marked targets are now instead applied to enemies. Starting at 7 stacks of magic marks, detonating a magic mark deals bonus damage up to 350 at 10 stacks. And lastly, Realm Runner. While using Scamper, heals allies within 25 units of you, 600 HP for over 3 seconds. So how was this rework for Moji? Well, for me, it's okay. I feel like I like the steps that they did for her when making her to the support, but also feels kind of boring, to be honest. I like the changes with Sparkle with the meter to use, and the magic mark stacks are pretty nice, and I do think having magic barrier providing shield makes a lot of sense for the change. The major thing I really don't like with this rework is just pretty much her ultimate's the same. Kinda wish they would have done something a little bit different. Maybe she will give a huge buff to a single ally, kinda like how Nano Boost works in Overwatch 2. I also might change how the magic marks work. Maybe instead of applying the heal on allies, it can also apply onto enemies. Maybe whenever you detonate it with Spit, instead of healing allies, it gives them 5% damage resistance, and when you detonate it on enemies, they'll take 5% increased damage taken. Probably comes a little clashing with Jubilation, but I feel like if this was a change that they do for Moji, they could definitely change up that talent a little bit. But overall, this rework did many things right, I feel like, when it comes to making Moji into a support. Did she need to become a support? That's kind of tough to say. I do feel like due to the lack of the resources that the team has, doing a super major rework to Moji, even while she was a flank, was going to be kind of hard. So it does suck that Moji's old kid that people have liked is now gone, but her identity is still there, I would say. That being her stacking with magic marks, and if you still want to play aggressive, you can just run the Jubilation talent. But that's gonna wrap today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If so, hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button will definitely be appreciated. And let me know your opinions of the Moji rework. Did you like the rework or not? Or what things would you have changed from this rework? I would like to hear. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.